Hello guys, it's Chessmaster here with you, and let's do a couple of chess puzzles. First thing first, let me know if you play at lichess and chess.com websites, because you can compare those ratings. Here I'm over 1600. At the lichess website my best was 2300, now I'm around 2100 plus. So I don't know why such rating differences. Maybe here there is a lot of players grinding out those puzzles, and so they lose their rating, and instead of solving like 1700 puzzle here, it would be actually 2100 on a lichess website or something. So yeah, okay, let's go ahead and try to solve a couple of chess puzzles. If you want to solve it yourself, it's black to move, feel free to pause the video. And yeah, so for me, feels like I could do something with this pawn, with the rook, with the queen. So there is definitely something going on. I also have this check with the queen, but that would just force the queen straight. I don't know if I want that to be happening. I can also take out the rook. They would take it back with the rook or a king. So that leads me nowhere. Another thing, c rook could go to c3, so it would be defended by our queen, and hits their queen. So where would they put the queen? Can't do it here and here, so had to go down. And what next? Maybe sacrifice the rook, king takes back, queen check, if possible, of course. So I think I'm overcomplicating something super simple, right? Might as well just be a simple check, queen d4 check. So king goes somewhere, don't know where. So check, and then maybe rook up, hitting that queen. So what's the most forcing move? To be quite honest, I find this a little bit complicated. So queen check, king would go 2 squares only, so a3 or a2, because pawn is covering the b1, and if queen d4 check, all the dark squares here would be covered as well. So let's start with it. Alright, so this one was good. So what next? I'm thinking about rook c3, that's quite forced. So they would put the queen on g5. Yeah, well, basically g5, f5 is possible, and that's it. Not a lot of squares for that queen. So we can try that. And they sacrifice the queen. Alright, wow, nice. So it would be nice to find out why this happened. Is there some comment section or something? Let's check it out. Issue: does black have to see that mate in 4 to justify his first 2 moves? I'm going with it no, with the reason because black's one queen d4 and second rook c3 attack are the main things to do anyway. Well, that's true. This is how I found those moves, because you know they looked forced, and in the end games you need to look for this as forcing moves as possible. And black is not sacrificing here. Is it hard to see that white's b3 square and pawn are weak and vulnerable? I found this hard enough. Got the moves right in 92 seconds. Okay, so what else do we have here? White gives up the queen for a rook because there is no safe escape that both saves the queen and avoids mating threats. So I hope you're able to see this one. Let's just play it out. So check, rook up, and let's say queen tries to run away. So yeah, this promoting, of course. And how to proceed? I can yeah, just double the rooks, okay? So Yeah, this is winning. All right, well, let's try to play another puzzle, okay? So if you want to solve it, feel free to pause this video. It's white to move. My first thing was knight takes knight, whichever pawn takes back. I can just drop down here with a check and pick up the rook. I don't know if it's that simple, but that's my first instinct, and I think let's go ahead and do that. So I hope I'm not dropping anything. This pawn is defended by a rook. So yeah, I think it's just a rook here. Alright, we solved the puzzle. So if we compare this one, which was quite straightforward, take the knight and then pick up the rook after a check, the previous one was so much more tougher, because you had to find like key squares, you know, like forcing moves and things like that are, I think, so much more complicated to see. Okay, and at this point, what can we do? So there is a lot of action in the middle and on the right side of the board. So for them, everything is defended nicely. My dark square bishop could be a lot stronger on a different square. There is some knight moves possible. Knight e5, knight takes g5, sacrificing for no reason, I suppose. What else? So yeah, this one is not that easy as well. My first idea, pawn to c4, kick away this knight. So then bishop d6 would skewer the queen and the rook. Actually, that might be the problem. Another thing, you guys probably at home thinking, why not to push e4, forking the knight and a bishop? Well, it's because bishop can take it. Our queen is defending, but they have another defender. Knight on c5 can take it back. So this is why I'm already taking this idea out. So let's try to kick that knight away and skewer the queen and the rook. So yeah, that's solved. Alright, it was quite simple as well, but rating is 1997. Well, that's quite high actually. So let's go ahead and do one more puzzle. So we just gave up a piece. I didn't see what was that. Hopefully it was a pawn. So what's happening here for us? First thing first, our rook is under fire, but I'm thinking a rook takes pawn on f3, hitting the queen. So if they take our rook, we are just gonna take the queen. And if they're, I don't know, doing something else, moving the queen away, I can just check. They will block it. And what else I can do? I can do this check after. Okay, I just take the bishop, rook takes back, and then queen checks. Thinking about picking up the rook, but then a rook can drop back, blocking the check. So that's also no good. So how can we proceed? Rook takes f3 was my first idea, and it looks good. They don't have any checks. They will have to move that queen. Where the queen will go? There is a d4 square for the queen, d2, c1. Can't go here. So g5 and h6 is not. Well, h6 would be possible because bishop defends, and so does g5. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do it. It's a pawn after all, right? Let's take it. So whatever I check, they can just block it. So I'm thinking, let's just take that queen. Alright, that was quite simple actually. So okay, let's do a final puzzle, our 5 puzzle marathon. Bishop is pinned because the rook will hit the king, so bishop cannot move. I could do some checks here. Maybe a checkmate even, I don't know. So also check on g7 and pick up the knight, because bishop cannot take it back. Let's see if there's no checkmate first. So check at f7. If they go here, I'm gonna checkmate or not. No, it's not a mate. Yeah, well, it's not gonna be a checkmate, so let's pick up that knight. Oh wow, it's incorrect. So maybe it was a checkmate. So, well, you know what? I'm not gonna look for the solution. I'm just gonna try to solve it myself. Maybe it's just rook sacrifice, queen takes back. And after that... After that I could give a check. And queen, if queen moves, I will give a check with my rook. Or else just rook b1. Hitting that queen, where's the queen gonna go? Well, there is couple places. So yeah, rook takes bishop or rook b1 are the moves now, or queen f7 check as well. So how to choose, guys? How to know which one is the best? I think it might be also queen g3 check. I didn't really see before. Yeah, this looks deadly. They can block it with the pawn or queen. It's probably gonna be another incorrect move, but I really feel like playing it, you know. Just alright, that's a correct move. Look at that. So now we can take the bishop because queen will not take back due to the pin. And looks like it's also a free queen now. Since the king cannot go on a light squares, queen will be undefended. Nice, alright, so well, rating of this puzzle was 2061. No wonder we didn't see this queen g3 check. I could have maybe spent a little bit more time, but okay, overall it was nice. Well, let me know if you could solve this last puzzle. Feel free to write that down in the comment section and tell me your Lichess and or chess.com puzzle training rating. So let's see if you guys have higher rating than I do. Well, mine is not that much, so it's like somewhere close to 1700 now. So alright, well, thank you all for watching and see you next time.